Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel FPL Extra with myself, Gaz. We've got alongside me Neil and also Zay. It's nice to have you back again, and hopefully you're enjoying the content. And if you are, please do hit that subscribe button and help us reach 100 followers or 100 subs. We're going to kick off today by just having a quick look at obviously all the commotions and the dramas from last weekend, and then obviously we'll have a look at the week ahead. So do we want to start with Neil's team possibly first?
Mate, wildcard flop.
Three of them, Neil.
37 points. 37 amazing points. We set it up for bench boost 29, but yeah, it didn't quite work out. And to be honest, the team I had before, Edison finally got a clean sheet. Dawson got a clean sheet. I think got a bonus as well, I think. Salah went off on a mad one. And he's got a good record against United. So, to be honest, if we'd waited one more week, probably would have been a bit better off, maybe about 20 points better off. I've not actually totaled it up, but yeah, it was a bitter pill to swallow because you could see the gains that other people were making, and the rank were absolutely destroyed. So I'm sitting at 185 now. So a little bit miffed because I was within the 100k and all that. On a positive note, I think I'm about 13 behind you guys and about 20 behind Zay, and yet the rank swing is about
not much.
Yeah, what are you on about, Gaz? What are you on at the moment?
120k-ish, I think.
Well, we're 30 points. Hold on. Yeah, so not much in it. Do you know what I mean? It's like the swing is mad. So if you're having a crap game week and you're sitting around 250, 300, whatever, 30 points and you're back in it. So yeah, not great.
Neil, do you know what I think the difference is, mate? I think the difference between me and you was Mitoma on the bench.
Yeah, that hurt.
If you'd have played him, I think that would have been pretty close then, wouldn't we?
Yeah, man. It was a hard one because everyone's like, who to go for? Mitoma, March, McAllister, and sadly for me, I thought I'd take a punt on Maddison. It didn't quite work out, but we'll see.
Also, your captaincy pick worked out, Gaz. You went with Haaland, and me and Neil went with Saka, and we paid the price for that.
That's because Gaz fell asleep, innit?
Wasn't too bad for me, that. No, it was all right. I was going Haaland anyway this week.
I was actually happy till Haaland was blanking. I didn't know, Gaz, you had him on the captaincy armband, so I was pretty happy until I found out that you had him on the armband, and me and Neil actually had Saka. So yeah, pretty shit week for all three of us, apart from the captaincy pick, of course.
That's it. I mean, to be honest, for me, I think obviously I got a few points for the captain, which was Haaland. Tony did all right on the Monday night game, and then also I had Kepa in net, and I had what's he called?
Estupinian.
Estupinian.
That's a mouthful.
But yeah, other than that, really, the rest of the team just let me down. Obviously on the wild card, it's quite disappointing. But I think obviously going forward, I think we're just a bit more set up.
What was that?
Yeah, just
impromptu vibrations.
Sorry, yeah, it was my sex toy. No, it wasn't. It was just my phone. I've switched it off now. But yeah, I mean, going forward, obviously, I think we're more set up, obviously, for the coming weeks. So yeah, I mean, it was disappointing last week. I think there was a lot of stress, and everyone's getting quite upset, weren't they, with the scores? So,
mate, it's killing our rank. You know what I mean? Every time Salah's smashing, bloody hell, it's like, what is going on? You can see on live. Was it? What's the rank?
Live FPL.
Yeah, it just, oh my God, it kept refreshing. And it's just like, either it'll crash, so it's like turning me into the Hulk, or when you do see it, it's like, oh my Lord, it's just...
I think Twitter went into meltdown though, didn't it? Like, there was a lot of people unhappy. A lot of people have deactivated their accounts. Just
big time. I mean...
Carnage.
But you know what it is?
So this was the carnage you guys were praying for in the previous few game weeks. You guys remember?
Same, yeah. We just didn't want the carnage for us though.
Yeah, it hurt, man. Zay, how'd you get on, bro?
So 37 points. I don't even want to look at my team again. And yeah, 37 points for me and all the similar shit like you guys. I benched Mitoma too. So at the end of the day, it was some bad decisions I made apart from that benching thing. Madison and Kane were the two that I had most of my expectations from, but yeah, this is FPL, and you know what happens when you expect a lot from some of the players.
Yeah, that's it.
Kane, man, Kane's hurting everyone at the moment, and they dropped out yesterday again against Milan. So you'd expect, hopefully, bounces back
They
against
were
Forest.
awful. They were awful in that game. I watched it for like 10 to 15 minutes at the start, and in the next second half, they were awful. There were no chances created in that game, and I'm
Yeah.
afraid we have to get rid of Kane sooner. And the probable option would be Watkins for me.
You know, as soon as he's gone, though, he's going to hurt us.
Yeah. That is gonna. What is
Say,
He's got
if you get rid of him first, say, then I'll wait a week, and then I'll get rid of him.
But yeah, it's painful, man. It's like, I want to drop a couple of F-bombs just to
a lot of
see how I
people
feel.
are on the similar situation like us. So what would you suggest them? Do they go for the rush transfers, or they avoid the rush transfers? What would your suggestions be on this current situation?
I mean, personally, I see a lot of people still holding a wild card as well. So I think some of them are like potentially playing it this week, but then some are holding out till 32, 33. But again, I think sometimes these double game weeks are traps, aren't they, lads?
Yeah.
But I think if you can get like maybe 3 or 4 of the doublers this week and your team's not too bad, I think you'll probably be all right. But obviously, if you've got a lot of fires to put out and a few issues, then I think obviously it could be a great time to use the wild card, and it sets you up very nicely for obviously your bench boost, the blank game week in 28. So yeah, what do you lads think about that? I think it's
The draft. Have you seen the drafts are now? So obviously us three have got pretty much the going template that everyone else has pretty much gone for as well. Bar, some people got Pinnock, Henry. I've gone for me, but a lot of them have got in Salah on their drafts, but they've sacrificed Kane for Watkins. So it's like they've kind of gone for those two players that might start. Watkins is already doing his business anyway, as we said last week.
So looking at those templates, like Neil, you mentioned, Madison could be our big differential. So a lot of people who were wild carded last week could have Madison, and he would be a differential. A second question from the FPL community point of view, I would like to ask you guys: would you guys recommend a free hit if the team is totally messed up?
Nah.
I think for me, I mean, it depends on what's like kind of level it's messed up. If you're talking like 6, 7, 8 players, if it's really bad, I mean, if it's not too bad, then I wouldn't suggest using the free hit this week. No, not
if it's like a -8, -12 situation, I'll probably just take the hits and just preserve the free hit till.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you've got 1 or 2 free transfers, and then obviously with a few hits. I think that's like a small like a wild card, like a mini wild card. So
yeah.
I think I'd rather use a free hit on on a really big double game week. That's when I'd rather use it, to be honest. So I think obviously we've got one in 29, have we?
I think the dirty one's 28. I think a blank, and then
28's a blank, and then 29's a big one.
29's the big year.
A lot of people bench boosting in that one, right?
But there's a new kind of narrative at the moment. I saw on the timeline, although Twitter's been a bit messed up in the last couple of hours or whatever, but a lot of people suggesting, Gaz actually mentioned it earlier today as well, is bench boost
for this week.
Yeah, rather than 29 because of the international break and the fact that we've probably all got like Odegaard, Zinchenko, some big players like Botman, against Wolves might have a clean sheet there. Yeah. The only kind of issue is a lot of people brought in Sanchez, and Steele's coming now.
Yeah, Sanchez might miss the other games too, because I think the manager has lost confidence in him. Probably there was a backdoor fight or whatever it was, but as of now, I think Steele will start and Sanchez will be benched.
So I saw, I was watching Focal earlier. Shout out to Focal. First shout out on the channel, probably, maybe. He's actually contemplating, or he might have already done it, is Sanchez to Steele, and I think he might be playing bench boost. So I don't know. There could be something in it because again, with doubles, we all kind of feed into the thing of like double games, and I think the
thing for me as well, though, lads, is like obviously the bench boost this week. Everyone's got really strong benches pretty much. Especially if you wild carded in 26. And then, obviously, like comparing that to 29, everyone's going to have quite a lot of doublers in the first 11 anyway. But most of their players are going to be single game week players on your bench anyway. Yeah. So it kind of doesn't really make much difference, I suppose, in that sense.
Yeah, but also the players that are doubling would be most of the bench fillers that would be on the bench. So it really doesn't matter if you play it now or then. So yeah,
I think
you got a good point.
unless you're going to have a full bench of doublers in 29, and you're going to if it's going to be mostly single game week players, I don't think there's that much difference between the two. Because you're still going to field 11 good double players, maybe 10, 9, 8, whatever it is.
Plus the pictures aren't the best either, bro. Some of the double games, I mean,
you have to remember as well. I think there's like a month between now and bench boost 29. So if there's any injuries, international breaks as well, you might even not be able to field 15 players that are unless you take loads of hits. So it's tempting. I might do it myself.
I've seen a lot of people planning to take out Haaland before that game week on the blank one. So the team will be messed up if there are injuries. So a lot of people would have to think about bench boosting then. So yeah, I think this could be the good one for bench boosting. But yeah, then we all know what would happen if you bench boost this one. All the players on the bench will blank, and that is how things are gonna be for us.
It's all about 29, then, isn't it? Then we're in trouble.
Yeah. Haaland's going, man. I think in 28, I'm probably going to shift him to Watkins.
Personally, I wouldn't recommend that. I would instead take out Kane from my side and still keep Haaland, because if I take Haaland out and probably go to Watkins, and then obviously I would have to use the other transfer on Salah if I have to, then it would be a difficult route back to Haaland for me. What do you say, Gaz?
To be honest, I'm keeping Haaland.
Yeah,
I'm selling him. I'm starting the trend. It's starting right now.
I mean, you're a brave man again, Neil, this week.
No, I haven't got enough hair down there to.
Well, yeah, I mean, just plain and simple. I'm keeping hold of him. I mean, I'm not really in a position that I have to sell him, and obviously I've got Kane and a few other people maybe that I could just move on. So
we got him for a much cheaper price, I think, Gaz, right?
Yeah, I've got him like pretty much from day one. He's been in my team from game week 1. So.
I had Kane game week 1. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I went against Haaland and that hurt, man.
Didn't go well, did it, Neil?
Yeah. It's like when I was in Edinburgh and Man City were playing Forest, and everyone thought, he's not going to play 2 games on the spin or whatever it was, and he's not going to get a hat trick again. I went Salah and bloody Haaland got a hat trick, but luckily Salah got, I think, 2 assists and 3 bonus, so it worked out all right. Didn't lose too much ground there, but it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it, man? Do you know?
I think for the first part of the season, every time that Haaland scored a hat trick, I captained Salah. I never actually got those points from Haaland for that hat trick.
I got them only once with Haaland scoring.
Zay, it's been crapping it, guys. You know what? Captaincy shout this season has been awful. Last year, I did all right. There was an app you can see how many times you got successful captaincy shout. And at that one point, I think it was like 26 out of 35. All right, but this season's just been absolutely
The captaincy
awful.
has been pretty challenging this season. I mean, last few seasons we've had the Salah Parma captain thing. No fun in that. So this season there is a different fun because we've seen Haaland blanking, and then obviously you have to make the choices between Saka and Rashford, and we always end up on the wrong end.
Never been on the right end of anything this season. So lads, anyway, moving forward, obviously with your team this week, are we all rolling or?
Do you know what? I've got my team on the phone here, right? So I was thinking, could roll, but the problem I've got is play Maddison or play Odegaard, and it's a hard one because I haven't seen the highlights still. I still didn't even watch Match of the Day because I'm a bit bitter like that to everyone who's watching. If I don't get a good game week, as I'm sure most of us do, probably don't even want to watch Match of the Day because it feels a bit salty. But I probably will watch it. But I heard Maddison did all right. So it's just a case of, is he due something against Chelsea, or do we go
Can I just say as well, just like literally about 5-10 minutes before we started recording this, I'm going to give a little shout out here to FPL Dean. I'm sure you know Dean, don't you, Neil?
Yeah.
Proper good lad, sound lad. We was talking on a DM, and basically he's in the same boat as me, as what you've just said regarding Maddison and Odegaard. So we've kind of just made a pact that we're both going to play Maddison and we're going to bench Odegaard, and it's done.
I've got Maddison at the moment.
Have you?
Yeah.
So 3 of us are going Madders.
Evidence. Hold up. It's there.
Same here.
So we're all going Madders then, yeah?
Yep. Zay, let's have a look, Zay. Let's see. Oh my God.
I better get mine out and show you now, I know as well. Can you see that, lad?
That was yours.
Yep.
Hey.
Happy days. No turning back now then.
No
I think sod it, man.
But also, Dean was saying at the time, he just sent me a thing. Apparently, Odegaard's travelled for, is it the Europa League game? Well, apparently he's ill.
Yeah, I
Ah,
think he is benched. Let me check. Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's
benched.
not-
Odegaard's benched.
oh, damn.
Yeah, I think he's ill at the minute, apparently, so he may not even start anyway at the weekend. Controversial.
I think Madison looked pretty alright in the previous game. I mean, he created those chances. He was getting in those attacking positions. The only problem was that Iheanacho was shite in that game, and all the other forwards they kept missing chances. So I think there is a big haul promised for Madison, but we'll see when the attackers fire. I think Madison would be pretty involved. He created that
Yeah.
last chance too for the header, and that was a pretty shite header he put in. I don't know the name of the defender who it was. He missed the header, and that was pretty much the game summed up there because Madison was pretty involved.
Yeah, I think Iheanacho could have put a couple of those
Yup.
assists. Not assists. He could have put a couple of those goals away for the assist from Madison. So he could have ended up on double figures, but obviously.
And imagine the
Yeah.
ranking on that, just for like 10, 15 points.
That's the thing with Odegaard as well, Neil. Do you not think like a lot of people are going to bench Odegaard this week because obviously they're trying to play loads of Brighton midfielders and Brentford players? So I think
I actually thought about getting rid of him, bro. Do you know that?
I think a lot of people have sold him or they're going to bench him. So it might be probably a good week if we're going to do it. It's probably this week. So
Because the thing is, I've only got Mitoma and Estupinian, so I've got that one spot left for Brighton. So I did have a little think about maybe getting rid of Odegaard to maybe McAllister, maybe.
McAllister, yep.
Yeah, for
McAllister is someone. But I would still say that we can bang the transfer and move ahead with 2. I think
It's not essential, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not an essential, but yeah, we never know what happens. If he's gonna fire, we're gonna regret that. But yeah, I think we would be all right with 2 transfers in the next week and can rule this one.
can I just say, as lads, just briefly, who have you got from Brighton mids? Have you got Mitoma?
Yeah,
Mitoma.
Mitoma. All 3 of us have Mitoma.
Is that no? I don't.
Oh,
Who do you have, bro?
I have Marsh,
March.
whatever his name is. I didn't go for Mitoma. I don't even know why I did it, but it was a last-minute change, and I think it was because I think he was slightly cheaper, maybe, and it gave me just enough money.
But you see how many people benched Mitoma? Untold people had Mitoma benched, and
so one worry with McAllister is that he's on the penalties. If they do get penalties, he'd be netting some. So that is something to consider if we are opting to not go for McAllister. But I think Mitoma is
absolute man. 28 points.
I think Mitoma's like his ownership's quite high as well. I think it's like
let me just check.
20 odd percent, is it?
No,
20%?
he's 18.9%.
18.9%.
I think it'll probably go up before deadline.
Yeah, it'll go. McAllister and Mitoma would be the ones people would choose. Probably I saw some of the people even taking out Rashford after that, that howler of a game week there.
Do you know what? Have you looked at transfers in? So I haven't checked it all week. So Raya's first, got Estu, me, Veltman, Joel Veltman, bloody hell, Henry, Zinchenko, Trips, and then mids is Mitoma, McAllister, Mo Salah, Salty, Solly March, Cody Gakpo. Gakpo did alright the other day.
Would be our differential for that double, but yeah, that's just far ahead, not to think about right now.
And then Foden's there, Gabriel Martinelli's there, and then obviously first one up front is Tony, Darwin, and Mbumo. And Mbumo could have done alright. I think he have a couple of chances missed.
Yeah,
he didn't do too bad.
Yeah, he decides to come in and miss chances. He has been doing that from previous season. Last season, he used to hit the post. This season, he's trying his best to miss the most chances.
Didn't he have a record or something like the amount of times it's like
yeah,
something
he's
ridiculous.
that kind of player, yep. So are we all captaining Tony this week?
Yeah, standard, man. Just in case. He's on penalties. He just seems to get
I think Gaz would go with Haaland.
Gaz is going somewhere else. Look, he's got a face.
No, I'm kind of I'm torn, to be honest. I'm literally between Tony and Marsh. Or March, whatever his name is, Solly March. Is it? How do you say it? Solly March?
No.
Well, yeah, I'm torn between the two because he's a massive differential, and I'm worried about Tony getting his standard yellow card as well. And obviously, you get the extra point for a midfielder. So I'm torn, really.
Tony, man, because if Tony gets his, what's he on, 8 at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So he's 2 away, and then there's trouble.
Yeah. I think he should be all right, obviously, for the double, but I'll probably end up just going with Tony and being boring. Because I'm scared.
I think a lot of people would captain Tony, and if he bangs and we're not on with the Tony captain, I think the same situation will happen with us, Neil. Like this week, we didn't go for Haaland, and a big kick to us for that rank drop. So yeah, I
To
think
be honest,
Tony would
lads, I
be the
think
most.
if I had Mitoma like you two, I'd be tempted to captain him over Tony. But because I've got Solly Marsh, I'm like, I don't know.
It's the only thing that's attractive is Everton and Southampton, isn't it? So, do you know what I mean?
Neil
That's
Gaz is
only-
trying to lay a trap here for us. I know.
Tony doesn't
I-
do very well. Tony doesn't do very well against
I
these.
can literally read his
Listen,
smiles.
didn't he say Brentford a crap away as well? Like,
Tony doesn't do very well against the lesser teams,
Yeah.
kind of, so to speak.
oh right, yeah. That old chest.
Yeah, but his penalty record is something to look at. I mean, he has netted in every penalty for Brentford. He hasn't missed any. That was the record I heard. Like I guess he's taken 29 of them and netted in 29 of them.
Harry Kane's tempting as well on a single.
Yep. So that evil
Well,
smile
not-
on Gaz's
not-
face is
Forest, they've got to beat Forest. But you know what's alarming? Just on a side note is obviously Son is absolute shite at the moment. Well,
Yeah.
for quite some time. But
it's like they're playing with
Richarlison-
10 players.
Yes, it's bad, isn't it? And Richarlison as well. Like, oh my god, how much I spent like 50 odd million on him? Just ain't happening. Just ain't happening.
Madness.
And like yesterday, shambolic, man.
Yeah,
You know,
I think Conte might end up leaving at the end of the season because I think he's the kind of guy who needs trophies. If there aren't any, he's just gonna walk away from the team. So yeah,
well, there's two, isn't it? They want
Harry Kane now, yeah. Do you think Harry's going? Think at the end of the season?
I think he might end up at Bayern Munich. This is what I personally think.
I think he might. I'm pretty sure he was buying a house in Manchester somewhere,
He's going to end up at United.
like the red part of Manchester.
Any Man City fans watching?
Please, Man City, did you say, Neil?
So I
Yeah.
heard Manchester
He's
United
one
would
of
go
ours.
for
Look at the
Victor
shirt,
Osimhen
baby.
too.
Yeah, obviously, I think United are in the market for a forward this year.
Yep. Victor Osimhen could be the good one. I think I'd prefer him over Harry Kane right now. He's
Osimhen
in
is a
such.
beast, man.
Yeah, he's really a beast. I mean, he links up pretty well with the midfielders, and he provides that extra pace and extra everything. Just the
Yeah.
injury stuff, but I think United could be.
I think I'd sway to Kane, mate, to be honest, because obviously he's proven in the Premier League. He's going to get you 20 goals a season standard.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I would go for
It would definitely help you against Liverpool next time. It would be 7-1 for you guys.
Hey, Gaz.
it.
To talk about that.
Honestly, mate, I'm leaving in a minute. There's
That
no
was- that
need
was-
for this, eh?
How did you feel, bro? On a level like
Don't
when the
worry,
goals
my
were
team
going in,
also got knocked out by Manchester. So yeah, you guys can troll me.
Yeah,
too.
who are you playing tonight? Who's Barca playing in the Europa League?
So, yeah,
Anyway,
that was a
moving
good
on.
one. That was a good
I
one.
can't say anything, man.
Yeah, to be honest, Neil, just going back to that, I was devastated, mate. 7-0. Like, what is going on?
Bro, on a level though, like seriously, when the goals are flying in, did your mood alter? Because mine does. When Arsenal,
It was awful, mate. When it got to 3 off, I think it was 3 or 4, switched it off.
Yeah.
And then I kept checking on the app every so often, thinking we might get 1 or 2 goals back.
Yeah.
And then it got to like 5, 6, and I thought, oh, this is dreadful. And then not
I
only
would-
that,
Yep.
I'd
Personally,
literally
I would
thought-
suggest that you and other Man United fans shouldn't worry about this much. The only thing depressing in this game was Fernandes, who didn't stand up as a captain. Other than that, this usually happens. I mean, I've
He's shaking
seen
his
Barca
arms.
getting battered. However, we still got battered by United. So yeah, this happens when you're in transition. You'll get like 1 or 2 years to get become a total complete side. So yeah, then you guys would be unbeatable. So just don't think about this loss too much.
no, I think it was just like a little blip. But
Yep.
like regarding Bruno as well, I think it was awful from him.
Yep.
Like the way he was throwing himself around, and I think he put his arms up in midair, like to say
Yep.
like, "Are you subbing me off because I want to come off?"
Yep.
Yeah.
But he was also shouting on his own players. I mean, all 11 of them were in it for the same reason, for playing football. So yeah, you cannot point people out with saying that he's not playing well or he's not playing well. So that was the only part that was bad. Other than that, I think it was just a standard loss. Just don't think about it too much. You guys are still
I
getting
think
better.
obviously being a derby and that emotions was high,
Yep.
so it is what it is. But
Yep. That happens.
fingers crossed we do all right at the weekend and tonight.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
you
lads,
can't
we
start.
all set on rolling the transfer for the week.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah, probably. I mean,
unless I get some strange, crazy like news on Friday from the press conferences, I think I'll be rolling.
So I guess
We'll
can you
do
just
some
quickly
standard,
run through
man.
your team with the current team you have and the
Yeah,
formation?
no problem, mate. So I'm going to play obviously Raya in net for his double. I've got what's he called?
Estupinian.
Estupinian.
In defence, I've got Henry and a Trippier in defence, and then obviously in midfield, I've got Saka, March, Maddison, Rashford, and then up front, Haaland, Tony, and Kane.
Yep.
And my bench is just beautiful. Honestly, I feel like bench boosting this week because I've got Kepa, Odegaard, Zinchenko, and Botman.
Yep.
Damn.
How about you, Neil?
Bro, so I've got
You can do
Ryan
it for
Gold.
both of us because we've got the same team.
We got the. I think we've got the same team, innit?
Yep,
So
we've got the
it's
same team.
Raya, me, Estupinian, Zinchenko, Madders, Saka, Mitoma Vice, Rashford, Tony Captain, Kane, Haaland, and then Kepa, and then Odegaard, Trippier, and Botman. So it can be potentially a good bench boost, but
Yep.
we'll see in it. We'll do the usual in it, man. Just tomorrow, just see what information comes out.
Neil, you're gonna have to start hiding your team from Zay because you're never gonna catch him if you've got the same team.
Do you know what? It wouldn't even. The funny thing was, I don't think we saw each other's wild cards until after
we
the
locked in. We locked in until we
yeah,
locked
because
in.
it was like, because remember it was like, what's your team, and then it's like deadline got in the way.
We
locked
actually,
in. It's like
I had
literally-
Mings till the last time. I screenshotted the team with Mings in it, and the
I
moment
crashed.
I made transfers at the last minute, and obviously Neil didn't see them, and I didn't see Neil's transfers. And the moment we locked in, we had the same effing team.
Mate, do you know what we should have done, Zay? We should have stuck with Mings and Cash, because Cash got, I think, what was Cash's points in the end? He got the assist. He picked up 12 points.
Yep, that was the case.
Why did I change it last minute? I've thought about doing something different. It would have been Botman out. It would have been Cash in. But for whatever reason, I thought, you know what, Newcastle got to bounce back and get those steady clean sheets again. And then Cash goes and gets 12 points. I was pissed, man. It was just like,
So that
wasn't
is
the plan, but
I think that is that for the teams. Now we have a little quiz from Gaz, right?
Yeah,
Go on,
we're going to spice it up a little bit this week. We need to spice things up. We've had some comments on Twitter and stuff, haven't we? Which has all been great feedback and that. But we're going to try and put a little quiz in there and have a bit of fun and add some things up. So basically, I'm going to ask you two guys 5 questions. Going to just go through them pretty quick, dead simple. Obviously to do with the Premier League. And then if one of you wants to give me your answer first, and then the other one. And then obviously if it's a tie at the end, I've got a tie break question. And obviously the one who gets the most questions right is obviously this week's winner. Right, lads, I'm going to fire off. I've got a few easy ones to start with. So this question one, right? Which team has scored the most goals in a single season with 106? So which team in the Premier League has scored the most goals in a single season? 106 goals they scored, this team.
So I've sent my answer. Can you see that?
I can see it both, yeah, and you both got it spot on. You both said Man City.
Yep.
Well done, that's 1 point. Going to get a bit tougher as they go along. So anyway, question 2. Who holds the record for the most Premier League's clubs that have been managed? So basically, he's managed the most Premier League clubs. And he's managed, I'll give you a clue, he's managed 7 clubs in the Premier League, this manager. You need to give me the name of the manager who's managed these 7 clubs. That's the most as a record.
so it's got to be someone crap to keep changing around.
I can give you the clubs if you want. If you want me to give you the names of the clubs.
Yeah. Just two clubs.
Yeah, give us
So basically, he's managed Blackburn, Newcastle, Bolton, West Ham, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, and Everton.
It was something like Sam. Can't remember his full name.
Look what I just put in
The
there.
big Sam.
Yeah, to be fair, you both said one said large Sam, one said Sam. So yeah, Sam Allardyce. I'll give you that point. Yeah. Well done.
Oh, nice.
The next question: which Premier League striker scored 3 separate hat tricks during the season 2017 to 18? The hat tricks was against Watford, Newcastle, and Leicester. He scored 3 hat tricks, 3 separate hat tricks in 2017-2018 season. Very popular.
What were the teams?
Tough one.
I'll read it again. Which Premier League striker scored 3 separate hat tricks during the 2017-18 season? It was against Watford, Leicester City, and Newcastle United.
Kane.
Oh God, I don't know. Actually, no. Retract my answer because he wasn't there. Then I don't
You
think.
both got it wrong.
Oh, sod it. Who cares?
The answer was Sergio Aguero.
Oh, yeah.
Was Suarez there in 2017? When did he move to
I think he
Barca?
was at Barca. Yep.
I think he was gone, yeah.
Nice.
Unlucky. Right, so we're tied at the minute on 2 each, yeah? So the next question, Jamie Vardy created a new record for scoring in consecutive games. How many straight games did he score in? So I can give you some options if you want.
Yep.
Oh, Neil's gone straight in. You're going to have to go straight in, mate, because Neil's gone.
Just do it. Just do it, Zay. I don't know, I'm guessing.
How many games did he score in consecutively, Zay? No, Neil was the closest on 9. Zay said 7. But the actual answer was 11.
Oh.
In 11 games. So we're still tied at the minute. This is the 5th and final question. Liverpool set a new record by winning 24 straight home games. Which club ended that run with a 1-1 draw at Anfield in July of 2019-2020 season?
You got killed off.
Dave's gone straight in there.
Oh dear.
I can tell you, Zay, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
So if Neil gets this right, he's a winner. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to a tiebreaker. Oh, United's gone United. United's gone United. Neil's gone United. I'll tell you that it was none of those, and it was Burnley. Burnley 1-1. So I'm going to have to go for the tiebreaker question now.
Yep.
So I need you to both give me a number. The closest to this number will be the winner. If you both say the same number, I'm screwed because I've got no more questions. Alan Shearer holds the record for the most Premier League goals scored. How many goals did he score? Sorry, so you just give me a number.
I think 786.
You right? So you're saying 786?
Yep. That is a wild guess.
That's a lot of goals, that Zay. Neil, you've only got to get 12.
280, bro.
280.
Yeah.
I can say that today's winner is Neil. And the correct answer was 260 goals.
How many?
260.
I knew it was something like that because he's just going on a mad one, isn't it?
Neil's just lucky because he's wearing that Arsenal shirt. Arsenal's pretty lucky this season.
Be the power.
Well
done, Neil.
Well done, Neil. You won.
Maybe next week Neil can do some questions and me and you can guess them, Zay.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
What did you think of the questions then, lads? All right, or?
They were all right. They were pretty fun.
Too bad.
Yep.
So we was thinking, obviously, like going forward to let everyone know, like when we hit 100 subs, we was thinking of doing like a live stream and getting people involved and maybe asking some questions like that, like a little quiz.
Yeah.
So something to do going forward.
Do that. Yep, can definitely.
What else? Shout outs. Anyone we want to shout out? Who's been messaging us?
No one messages me no more.
Twitter is pretty messed up. We used to see a lot of good people there last season and this season. You know that the guy who has taken over is pretty awful with managing stuff. So we don't see a lot of people on Twitter anymore.
In case we get in trouble. Yep. But the timeline's messed up, man. It's like I don't want to see messages from 5 hours ago and 23 days ago.
Yep.
So I just wanted to say thank you all so much for tuning in and watching us talk a load of FPL. I thought I was going to say something bad there, but honestly, it's amazing for your support. We've hit 65 subs in quite a short space of time. I think we just launched about a week now. Yep. So views have been going up as well. Really, really appreciate all your feedback as well. Thankfully, I've sorted out my camera issue because I used my phone last week. So Kevin, Anthony, Theo, some of the boys, thanks for the feedback. But generally, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Yep.
Take care, guys.
Thanks everyone. See you next week.